Good morning. It is Friday the 22nd of August and this is day 50 for me on the bike, and we have just come to the top of a pass. It's one of those passes where if you look at the profile there's two little horns. This is the first horn, second one coming up presumably the similar height. It is 10 past 10 in the morning. We've done 28.5 miles. We were in the toaster house last night. We left very early this morning. We left about 10 to 6 in the dark. That's our philosophy here at this part of New Mexico, to avoid riding long into the afternoon when it gets really hot. So we've got 63 miles to do today, and we're paying very careful attention to where the water supply is. Next water supply, just under 10 miles, and we'll top up there and hopefully get to where we're camping long before it gets terribly hot. So that's today. We have 290 miles left to go to the finish. It's amazing to think that, but there you are. Hello. So we've come down from the forest and we're now on the plain, skirting along this edge here of these kind of little hills. We've come across a big kind of plain for 3 or 4 miles where we're really exposed to the sun. So we called in at the Horse Springs Bible Church. Very kindly they have a hose over the fence so that anybody doing the GDMBR or the CDT can fill up on water, which is very generous of them. So thank you very much. We did that. We are at mile 45 for us, which means less than 20 to go to our campsite. It's about 12:15. So we're keen to get there before 3 o'clock, and I think we're on target to do that, so we don't scorch too much. So yeah, the church was our last source of water for today. The site we're getting to is near a place called Ghost Lake, but we're not optimistic there'll be any water in it. So I think we've all got enough to survive until tomorrow, and then we've got some more water sources to access tomorrow during the day, and the campsite we're going to be at will have water tomorrow. So one of these, many of the considerations. So yeah, very hot today, but we are making progress. It was good to get up early, get out before the sun got hot. Yeah, so it's good. Well, it's Friday night, the 22nd of August, day 50 for me riding, and we are at camp here. It's our typical 7 o'clock time to get to bed because we were up so early. Up at 4, away at 6, before 6. And then we did our 63 miles to get here. Had these conversations. We're all thinking about, obviously, the fact that we've only got about 290 miles left to do. This amazing journey. And we're thinking about what's going to happen when we get back home, what people are going to say, what we do. But yeah, it's been another fantastic day. Beautiful evening, not a cloud in the sky. Got very hot in the midday, early afternoon, when we were kind of finishing off here. We got here about between 2 and 3, really. Just as things were getting really, really hot. So yeah, it was good timing. So once again, tomorrow, similar kind of agenda. Getting up very, very early, getting away before sunrise, and getting as much of the trail under our belts before the sun gets really hot. And we should be in a forestry service campsite tomorrow night with plenty of water and so on. But we're kind of, running out of opportunities. So this is possibly our last wild camp in this kind of situation, where it's just us out here. So it's mixed feelings, really. I mean, it's very gratifying to be finishing, to be, hopefully achieving this great goal, cycling this ridiculously long journey, such circumstances. But it's sadness because obviously it's been great fun. It's been really, really enjoyable. Every day has been so rich with experience that it's a bit sad that it's coming to an end, but it needs to, I guess. Anyway, a Saturday awaits tomorrow. That night. So we're over halfway through our ride for today. It's Saturday, the 23rd of August, and we left our campsite, which was an informal one, in the Y Canyon at about 6 o'clock this morning. It's now 10 past 10, done 32 miles out of 60. We're on our way to Beaverhead Workstation, a work centre, at 34 miles, so not far from it. We know we can get some water there, which is great. Countryside has been, or the landscapes, been very varied. We climbed up from our site this morning through the forest for quite a long time down a very straight road till we came to another continental divide elevation. Then we came down out of the forest through very big open spaces, and we had a really fun conversation with a guy in a pickup truck heading north, and he gave us a Red Bull, chilled Red Bull each, so that was very nice. So we're all operating with a lot of caffeine, and then we've been on this kind of rolling a bit through various canyons as we head along the edge of a kind of series of hills and rocky kind of cliffs. The cliffs are amazing and the rocks are absolutely fabulous. So a lot of variation just in 30 miles. So beautiful. Anyway, hope we can get to Beaverhead soon. So this is the Beaverhead Work Centre, part of the Forestry Service, National Forestry Service, and it's a great relief. We've got some shade, got toilet, and most importantly, water. It's a base for operations for the Forestry Service, in particular fighting forest fires. So it's usually pretty quiet and unoccupied, and then springs to life when the need arises. So I'm very grateful for it. It's great, really useful. So onwards, 10 miles, and there's some more water apparently, but 25 miles to our campsite. So yeah, but heat is rising. That's the problem we've got to deal with now. This from this time on, it's about 10:30, quarter to 11. Yeah, and it's going to get hot. So I've just stopped here at the Geronimo Trail guest ranch, where they very, very generously leave water for cyclists and snacks and goodies like Gatorade and Cliff Bars and wipes as well, and coffee, instant coffee. So very, very big thank you to them. They asked for a donation, which I think is very good, because if they had a convenience store here, everybody would be piling into that and happy to pay. So yeah, the fact is access rather than lack of resources. So it's a really great service. So thank you very much. The Geronimo Trail guest ranch. I had a Gatorade, and it's just what I needed when I had my house. So also having a bench, a couple of benches here, is great. So I was able to sit in the shade and have that. So, what's some of the wonderful things that you find along the trail? Okay. All right. That's what I call water.
It's moving. The beaver dam. Yeah.
Oh wow, look at that. Did you see the water sources earlier in the day? Amazing.
By some of those lakes, or?
Do you see the one with the like a waterfall going under the bridge?
Yes, that was pretty. So, like, if I needed water, that would have been perfect. Where do you want to get it from?
Down there, I can take it to the side.
The question is above the beaver dam or below the beaver dam? Yeah.
What do you think?
Probably above.
Just coming up to 7 o'clock. It's Sunday, the 24th of August. This is our campsite. We're all packed up and ready to go. It's Upper Black Canyon campsite. We came down the steep side of the valley last afternoon, yesterday afternoon. We were here between 3:30 and 4, which is really good time. We did 60 miles yesterday and it was very climby, hard work, especially the third climb, which was very steep. The last climb was long, but less gradient, so it was better, but we were all tired yesterday, so good to be back and rested. We've got a short day today, 29 miles, a very steep start to get out of the valley, up and over and down to a place called Lake Roberts, where there's a convenience store and campsite, so that's going to be good. We scheduled 2 big days and then 2 smaller days to recover. We didn't need to make a big long day. So Lake Roberts tonight, tomorrow Silver City and Civilization again. Chance to get completely clean, hopefully. Maybe even laundry. Shock. Yeah, so some cloud cover today already. Remarkably dry during the night, no condensation on the fly for the tent, which is really good. I filtered from the stream here. There's a beaver dam on the other side of the stream, so it's quite a complex kind of water system around here. And the water looks okay when I got it, but Brian's, when he collected water, it looked terrible. So he's forgone filtering the water, but I'm okay with what I had anyway. So yeah, quite a quiet campsite, except for a family that turned up quite late last night and then erected a very noisy aluminium tent, cut firewood, etc., and had a generator going all night. Such are the joys of camping outdoors. But actually, I think we've only got a couple more nights in the tents, and then one night in the hotel, hopefully, and one night in the community centre, and that's us done. We're down to now less than 200 miles to go to the finish, remarkably. So let's get going.
Old cow trial.
I've just finished another climb, during which I pushed the bike a fair bit on the steeper bits. We're on a kind of plateau, so we were down in a canyon at a campsite last night, so obviously we had to climb up out of that. First thing, that was a big one. And we got onto the top of the plateau and you could look around and you could see what else was at this level. And then we've had to drop down into a succession of canyons as well as we've made our way across the plateau. Some of them deeper than others, some of them really badly damaged by flash flooding and where there's been a lot of repair work. Obviously the road is a relatively minor road, so it needs to follow the contours of the land. So there's a lot of work required for those people using it, especially those using their own power to get by. But it is beautiful. It's very quiet. You become very aware of every kind of aspect of the natural environment that's close to you. So obviously the geography is hugely significant. You know, the smell of the pines, we were talking about that this morning. It's a lovely, lovely smell. Wish you could take it back with you. So about 10 miles in to our 30-mile ride today, very short one really, for heading for Lake Roberts. Got some more ups and downs, more canyons to traverse before I get across the plateau, and then downhill and into a valley where Lake Roberts is, which means of course tomorrow we'll start with the climb. Well, hello, it is Sunday night, the 24th of August, and we're at Lake Roberts. We're in one of the cabins here at the Cabins and Store. We got here a very good time, just after midday, and the owners here are very accommodating, so put us up in one of the cabins at a very good price. Plenty of room for the three of us. So we've showered and we've washed our clothes and we barbecued some hot dogs. We have had a lovely afternoon and evening, just relaxing. A couple of more southbound cyclists who haven't actually met before have turned up late, and the owners here have put them up even though it was after hours and so on. So thoroughly recommend Lake Roberts Cabins and Store. I mean, it is a well-known stopping place for Great Divide mountain backers, but it's really nice. The lake itself is absolutely fabulous location. Unfortunately, we rode past it without taking any photographs. Such is the way. We thought we were going to go back to the campsite up there, but in the end, we plunked ourselves here, and it's a beautiful evening yet again. No rain, no storms, no nothing. We saw a fair bit of wildlife today. Saw wild turkeys, I saw a wolf across the road, and a deer has wandered around the cabins here, giving us a good checking over, looking for any scraps I think that were left over, just hanging around. Obviously not too bothered by wolves in the vicinity. So today was a short day, 30 miles by our standards, and then tomorrow is another one. We head for Silver City, and that's the last kind of town on the route before we head for Antelope Wells. It's another big landmark. We're now down to 160 miles to go. It's quite nice. It's great. It's fantastic. Let's put it like that. To be three of us traveling together, it's really made the trip what it is. So I'm very, very thankful to be with Tom and Brian. It's been really great for longer than half the trip. So there we go. Anyway, tomorrow's Monday morning and we're off to Silver City. Just around 7 o'clock on Monday morning, the 25th of August, and we're just getting ourselves together to get out on the road. We've all had breakfast, we slept well here at Lake Roberts Cabins. We're just cleaning and oiling the chains on our bikes, which is a routine we've got into, which is excellent actually. Really, Tom taught us that one, so makes a big difference. Yeah, and then we'll be on our way to Silver City. Well, it's about 13 miles in to the ride today, and it's about 20 to 10. We've been climbing. Obviously there was a very steep climb to get out of the valley of where Lake Roberts was, and then we've been following a ridge across the plateau where there's really dramatic views on either side, and then winding our way through, I guess, a valley. It's always interesting to speculate how these roads evolved, you know, from presumably one person walking through trying to find the most the quickest way, the easiest way, and then animals being driven, pulling carts, carrying people, and then cars and so on. So the kind of wind of the contours, it's fun kind of speculating whether it's going to go left or right, round or through or up, over, how many twists and turns. So I think we're getting near to the top. And as with successive days recently, today is the highest point that we'll do again, because obviously we're running out of time and we're moving downwards as we head towards the border on Thursday. So we won't be climbing this high again. So we've got a little place called Pinos Altos to go to, and then Silver City, and I don't know what's in between, but we'll find out. But it is a beautiful day, and it's a beautiful forest to travel through. So it has been obviously slow and hard work, but it's been really pleasant environment. It's beautifully quiet. Very little traffic on this road. So yeah, a great morning on the Great Divide mountain bike route. Well, here we are. We are in Silver City, New Mexico. It's Monday night, and we're staying at this fabulous hotel, the Murray Hotel. In 1930s Art Deco style, very well preserved. It's great. The rooms are fabulous. Reception is really, really welcoming. Very, very nice place indeed. So we're spoiling ourselves, I guess. It's the last night in a town with accommodation like this. 2 more nights to go, 3 days, and we should be at Antelope Wells, all going according to plan. So we're all set, ready for somebody to come and pick us up. So we got here in good time today, 30 miles, and very quickly. We were here by 11, just after 11. So we had lunch and put our bikes in bike shop here, Twin Sisters Cycling and Fitness, which is just along the road, a few steps from the hotel. And proprietor worked all day on the bikes, and he did a fantastic job. We are delighted with what he did with the bikes. So if you're ever in Silver City and need something done to a bicycle, come to Twin Sisters Cycling and Fitness, and you'll get a fantastic job. So worked on all 3 bikes actually. It should be smooth going between now and Antelope Wells on the bikes. We've had a good chance to get showered and sorted out. Got a bit of some provisions for the last few days, and then we'll go out for some food and set off first thing in the morning. 60 miles tomorrow, and it's going to be hot, hot, hot.
There are 3 gates.
It is Tuesday, the 26th of August, and we are south of Silver City. We have left the palatial hotel behind and all the nice food and all of that, and we're out in the desert, the Chihuahuan Desert, which stretches all the way down quite a bit of northern Mexico. Very hazy this morning. We think it's possibly a dust storm that's come from Arizona. It's not stormy as such, but it's hazy. So the temperature hasn't got really hot yet. I mean, it's only 12 minutes past 9. Done 17 miles. It's a 60-mile day, big day, to a tiny spot called Separ, which has got one gift shop and you can camp outside it on the Interstate. So that's going to be fun. That's our last night camping. That'll be night number 42 in a tent for me on this trip. Yeah. So yeah, we're adding things up and working things out and averaging and looking at the whole route because we're now so close to the end. It's amazing. It's hard to imagine, but it is. So about 115 miles left, maybe, in total. Yeah. Yeah, hard to take it in, the fact that we could finish it if all goes according to plan. Yeah, it's been such an amazing time. Yeah, really very grateful to have had the privilege of doing it, having the time and the money and everything else. Really blessed by this experience. So it's been quite tricky this morning. There's some nice single track coming out of the center of Silver City, which was good fun. But then the road got very washboardy and very sandy, and the sand was really difficult. So yeah, that was tricky. So hopefully less of that, maybe, who knows, this afternoon. Anyway, onwards. Well, hello. It is Tuesday evening, the 26th of August, and we are at our final camp with tents, we think, and we are at Separ, which is 60 miles south of Silver City, which is where we rode from today. It was relatively levelish, ups and downs, but wasn't too hard that way. We got here in very good time. We left about 6:30 a.m. and got here before 2:30. Yeah. Seneca and Greg are also same pace as us, and so they're here as well. We the owners of the gift shop here are very generous towards bikepackers and hikers, and so let us camp here by their giant teepee. So we are 4 tents securely camped there. The site is right by Interstate 10, really busy interstate. We've been watching them resurface the interstate, which has been good fun, trying to work out what they're up to. So we're hoping, also there's a railway line here, because it's quite busy, so let's see if that interferes with our sleeping anyway. But we have a very, very short day tomorrow. We have 27 miles to get to Hachita, and that's the penultimate leg of our journey. And then Thursday will be the final leg, hopefully, if it all goes according to plan. So it has rained very heavily, and we're expecting a bit more rain, but everything's set up, and hopefully it won't affect us too badly. So it's been, it's another kind of surreal moment, because it's a really strange place to camp. Very quiet car park, it's a very quiet business. Here, a gift shop on the freeway. But yeah, we've had our meal, we're all set. Excited, I guess, to come to the end of our journey. Looking forward to the next phase. Well, looking forward to getting it done, I guess. Completeness. Still enjoyable, every moment. But this is it. End of Wednesday. No, end of Tuesday, sorry. Tuesday. And we'll see you in the morning. So there we are. It's amazing, but we've actually got signs that point to Antelope Wells. So we've just done about 7 and a bit miles from where we're camped at Separ. That was one interesting camp place. So we're essentially camped next to the giant wigwam or teepee in the parking lot, I guess, for the gift shop. So occasionally lorries would come in and turn in the night and so on. But the main thing was the freeway was busy all night and the railway. So it was a bit of an interrupted night's sleep anyway for me. But that's good. It's done. It's day 55 riding for me. It's Wednesday, the 27th of August. And we're just come off the frontage road here, turning away from the interstate and heading south on pavement. No more gravel. So we've got 19 miles to go, and then we're going to stop at Hachita for tonight. So it's a short day today, and then we're going to do the remaining 45 and a bit miles to Antelope Wells tomorrow. It's incredible to be actually saying those words. Because here we are with our bikes, having pedaled them all the way from Canada, and the end of the route, the finish, the accomplishment of it all is near. It's amazing. I just can't get my head around that. It's a way of life. It's become a way of life, and it's going to be quite a transition to move back. But it's, yeah, very mixed feelings. I've really, really, really enjoyed it. It's been amazing. But I'm really, really, really looking forward to getting proper food, regular showers, clean clothes, all of that kind of stuff. Anyway, yeah, we've got a couple of days more fun to go. So let's get to Hachita. Right, hello, we're back, and we've arrived at Hachita Community Centre. And we're all sorted out. Now, I just wanted to spend a moment or two introducing the two people who've been lurking in the background in all these shots. So Brian and Tom, who I've been sharing more than half the journey with, and without whom it would have been a very different experience. I'm just going to talk to Brian first. You want to just introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Brian from Ghent, New York.
And so, Brian, why are you doing the tour?
That's what everyone asks out here. What's your why? Everyone says you need a why. I don't know if I really had one. I retired, and it was a nice break. After retirement, I finally had the time. I knew about the route for a long time, so it was now or never, and it was a good separation, I felt like, from my career life and the next phase.
Cool. And now that you're nearly at the end of it all, I'm going to ask you the obvious questions. Would you do it again?
There would need to be a very strong why. I'm not rushing out here to do it again. It was a lovely, wonderful trip. Loved pretty much everything about it, but I might need some time away from it to consider that.
Oh, fair enough, fair enough. And what next?
I don't know. I'm home without a job. I'm going home with that. So we'll figure that out when I get home.
In terms of challenges, would you do another challenge?
More running challenges.
More running.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know about the next biking one. I would like to do some more stuff up in the Northeast, the VTXL. I think it might be the next bike packing trip. More week-long stuff than 2 month long.
2 months. Okay. And if you had to sum it up, what would you say would be your feelings about the Great Divide?
It's hard. It's hard. It's fun. It's wonderful. It's just fabulous. You know, there's just moments when you ride into an area. It could be a view, an area you go into that you know you're never going to get into again, that you did it with human power on a bicycle. And they're just times that you'll never have again. And then there's the people. There's the cyclists, of course, like Andrew and Tom that I've been riding with, and Gary and Michael, who I started with. But it's the locals that you talk to. There have been so many unique, incredible encounters with the people along the way.
And you notably did it single speed.
Yes. Yes, did a single speed. I single speeded it on a steel, heavy, long wheelbase bike that Jones held up wonderfully.
So any equipment changes that you would have made Any regrets about anything that you've done? Nothing.
No, it was perfect. I would single speed it again. I would fat tire it again. 3.25 tires I started with. They're down to 3s now because I had them both replaced.
Yeah.
But because of wear, this route is hard on bodies, bikes, skier, everything breaks down.
Great. Okay, well, thank you very much indeed, Brian.
All right.
Thank you so much for all that you've done for me.
Likewise.
It's been a fabulous time riding with you, so I really appreciate that.
Yes, likewise.
Thanks. Thanks so much. Okay. So the other important member of the team who has been in the background also and photographed often from the back, shooting ahead up on his bike ahead of everyone else, is Tom. So I'm going to ask Tom some questions too. Hi, Tom.
Hello.
So, Tom, why did you do the Great Divide mountain bike route?
I don't have a really good why.
That's okay.
Other than it's always something I was wanted to do. It's a big challenge. It's just always been there. Kind of did a lot of little things leading up to it. And, it's just for the sense of accomplishment and adventure and seeing if you can do it and all the fun that's involved in finishing it or attempting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you the obvious question that everyone asks, which is obviously, what was your opinion of it? Sort of know what your feelings about the whole thing now. You're 45
We're
miles
close.
from the end.
We're very close. I think anybody who thinks they can possibly do it should try. The physical challenge is big. The mental challenge is big. Don't try to overthink it or get too prepared for it. Just, get out there and like everything else in life, give it your best go.
Yep.
And then enjoy everything that's involved in it, meeting the people and seeing the sights and challenging yourself and pushing through what you don't want to do and finding what if you think you can't do something and you just keep trying, you'll eventually get there. Yeah.
Right. And would you do it again?
That's a good question. We've talked about that.
Yes.
I would do it again under the right circumstances. I would never try it as the race. I think that's insane. Those guys are just at race pace. I wouldn't see any enjoyment in it. If a very good friend or a son or daughter said they wanted to do it, I would go do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And as far as challenges are concerned, what's next?
That's also a good question. And we've talked about that a little bit. There's a handful of other rides out there that maybe not as big as this, but it would be just as challenging through Iceland or the Arizona 800, the AT 800. That's a huge challenge. But then there's also the British Divide that I'm going to talk you into doing.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's an interesting one, right? Okay. And so I've asked Brian the same question, and because obviously his equipment choice was very kind of particular.
It was, yeah.
Yours was very conventional in a way. You chose the perfect bike,
right?
The Salsa Cutthroat for the route. Any regrets? You had lots of issues, I would suppose. Really.
Mostly, I guess, as far as regrets for the bike, it's a great bike, and in a lot of aspects, it's perfect for the route. It's very comfortable. It's pretty quick when you need it to be. I will get better gearing. The gearing I had on it really made me work a lot harder, push a lot harder, so that it was harder on the drivetrain. And it's all going to have to be replaced. It's all wore out, and I had it replaced before I left. Okay. But it's just the whole thing is hard on the bikes, on the bodies. It even destroys your socks and shoes. There's just nothing that's going to be left untouched or undamaged. We've got shoes that are tied with paracord, socks with holes in it, ripped and torn shorts, and we talked to people whose helmet liners got eaten by deer. If just things that you would never expect, and it's just, but that's part of the fun. Yeah. It's part of the adventure.
Well, I'd just like to say thank you so much, Tom, for being part of my journey And I've really, really, really enjoyed the time I spent
It's
with
been
you
great.
and Brian. It's been great fun.
I'm so happy we didn't come out here and do this as 3 individual rides.
Yeah.
It would not have been the same.
No.
For us to travel through all this and just by happenstance come across each other, and the dates that we left, everything that had to come together for us to be consistently in the same location for several nights, to where we realized, hey, we can just ride together and pace it out together. You know, for those things to come together, you couldn't plan it. Obviously, we didn't know each other before the ride, but it really made the ride much more enjoyable. I would have hated to done this by myself. It would have just been doing mileage.
I totally agree.
It wouldn't have been a shared experience.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot tougher. And then, I mean, who do you talk to about it? It's
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's been fantastic talking to
Right. Did
each
you
other
see
about
that?
it.
Whatever it is,
Yeah.
the 2 wolves. Oh, you saw that too.
Yeah,
You know, it's so different than if you just, even if you took pictures and you took the pictures home and you're trying to show your friends and family, or make a great video. You know, if somebody's not there with you, that you just don't have that same sense of accomplishment, adventure, and hardships. Shared hardships goes a long way.
It does.
I think they call it trauma bonding.
Do they? Okay. Okay, that's cool.
We're not quite there.
No, we're not quite.
No,
I don't think we had that much trauma.
Not quite there. No. It's everything's been great. It's been very enjoyable.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been lucky with the weather. We got one last day before we can declare that we had a essentially clean run.
Yep.
You know, no wildfires. We saw dust yesterday from a dust storm that was 500 miles away.
Yeah.
But it's been.
That's right.
We've been lucky.
We've been very lucky.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much indeed, Tom.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
it. So we're here in Hachita. A little bit of time to kill. That was the plan. Short day today, less than 30 miles and 26 point something to get from Separ here. We did that well before lunchtime. Quite a good general store here. Plenty of things to get, to eat and drink and so on. So we've been chilling out. The community center, which is where we're staying tonight, is available to hikers and bikers for $20 a night. So that's good. It does have a lot of insects and cockroaches, which is an issue. So we've been slaughtering insects most of the afternoon. So we're dotting I's and I'm dotting I's and crossing T's, really. This is the night before the final day. All goes according to plan. Then we are going to roll out here in the morning, first thing, and do the 45.5 miles to the border, Antelope Wells, where we're going to be picked up by a shuttle service and taken to El Paso to a hotel where I've booked. And then my flight home is on Sunday, and it's all going to be over just like that. And it seems very quick, and it is very quick when it comes to this part of it. I never thought that I would actually be able to do this. In the first place, actually start it, never mind actually finish it. So I'm a hair's breadth away from doing that, which is amazing. I'm really amazed that it's come to this. So Hachita is very, very sparsely populated and very, very sparsely serviced. We're the community center, which used to be the mercantile, and I'm standing here where the railway line used to be. There's a water tower behind me. Apparently the railway was in operation until the early 1960s. And my bike is sitting on some of the remaining sleepers that are left here as a memory of the railway that used to pass through here and make it more of a thriving town. But I'm very grateful to the people here. They're very welcoming to cyclists. So this is the bike that has brought me all this way, nearly 2,800 miles over 2 months. It's a Stooge Scrambler, which I got in October finally. Got built up. It's a hardtail mountain bike, steel, and it's done great service to me. I'm very, very happy with it. It's a 29 inch wheels, And I've got a Shimano Dior, so that's mountain bike group set. Obviously 1x, so 1 front ring and 12 gears up to 51 at the back, which has been good enough. It's a 32 ring at the front. Really, there's no point in going to 30. I would have been going slower up steeper hills. Didn't push the bike that much. It wasn't that much hike bike. So I think I'm very happy with the arrangement of the gears and ratios and things like that. And generally speaking, the bags all did very well. I've got a combination of bespoke bags made by Wizard Works in London and tailfin bags, which come off and get back on the bike very, very easily, which I'm very pleased with. So at the front, I've got the bar bag, which I keep all my sleeping kit. So that's where there's the tent, the sleeping bag, the mat, pillow, and so on are all in there. And so I whip that off the bike when I get to somewhere to camp and pop it up again and then pack it up. It's very easy to do, so that's great. At the back, left and right panniers, one for food. They're 16 litre ones, one for food and the other for equipment to cook the food, and also sort of spare bits and bobs, which maybe bought too many of. I ended up having to send some stuff back. Middle bag here I use for my clothes. I keep them in a dry bag in there. There aren't that many clothes. It bulks up a fair bit. I'm not sure whether there are things in there I should have left behind or not. I don't know. Who knows? In the middle, the frame bag, which fits the frame because it was made for it. In the bottom down here, I'm keeping my cables for charging. I'm keeping my filtering kit. Keep my digging holes that go to the toilet in the middle of the desert kit in there as well. I've got a UV thing for filtering water, which I've used once or twice. Main thing I've used is a sour squeeze, and it's been very, very, very good. And I do have backup as chlorine dioxide tablets, which I used on one occasion, which add that essence of swimming pool to your drinks, which is not that great. The top on this side, I've got my batteries. So I've got two 20,000 milliamp batteries in there, which are great. Also got my sunglasses in there, which I use a lot. I keep the quick stand folded up in that top one as well. I've got the radio mics that work with the GoPro in a little box in there. They hold their charge very well. I have used them for a bit. There's a pocket on the other side which is kind of flat. They're good for keeping two-dimensional objects in. So I keep the latest ACA map in here. Keep wet wipes and things in there. Down at the bottom here is my kit for maintenance for the bike. I've used that when necessary. So cleaning chain, maintaining the chain, that kind of thing. Some spare bolts and things, one of which I gave to somebody else who needed one. I have the patch kit there for the tires, which I did use in my one big drama with a puncture, where the guys in the pickup helped me with their compressor. And so that worked perfectly. That's from Restrap. Stuck with the super glue they supplied. The tire has held magnificently to the end. I've got clean canteen water bottles, two thinner ones at the top and two bigger ones on the fork, one on either side. They've all performed well, no problems with that at all, and that's about 4 litres of water that I then start every trip with. I've got another bladder which I can fill. I have done on a few occasions, so it adds another 2 litres. And then obviously I have my the bladder that I use to filter water was another 2 litres, should I need it. But really, haven't needed any of that. This is a GoPro, obviously, I'm using to film this, and it's got a mount here. There was a gooseneck on here, which was plastic, and which eventually broke on the way to El Rito here in New Mexico. So I guess it survived a good while. And so now I've been mounting directly much closer to the handlebars, which means the shots are a bit lower and means you see a bit of extra things. The trip has been very hard on lots of things. Clothing, especially, socks, terribly. So they're going straight in the bin when I'm finished. The main thing that I've had a drama with is the tent. So I've got a Durston X Dome 1 Plus tent with the short bike packing poles. Nothing wrong with the tent, and I'm very happy with the shape of the tent, the behavior of the tent, the way the tent works. So it says like the poles are an exoskeleton on the surface, on the outside of your fly. So you can erect that very quickly if it's raining, and then you can put the inner inside in the dry, which all works perfectly well. It folds up fantastically well, scrunches up, goes in my kit. And when the poles are working, they fit in the bag as well and everything like that. But at the moment, you can see the poles are on the outside, and they look odd. And they look odd because they have broken in 3 places now. And so they are fastened together with various combinations of MSR, extra aluminium poles for fixing broken tent poles, and on one occasion some stakes and a lot of Gorilla Tape. So I have to keep the tent poles like that, larger than they would be, because I can't fold them all up. I did talk to Durston about it. They were very helpful. They were going to send me some poles. They did send me some poles. Unfortunately, they missed me. So they are sitting in Del Norte post office, and I'm here in Hachita. So they missed me by about 2 days. Unfortunately, didn't get there in time. So I have been making do with broken poles, which we've mended and work fine, but less than ideal. So that's been the big thing that has caused grief. So that's the bike and the kit. Very, very hard, the route on bike and person as well. Body has stood up to it very well. Had to watch my toes at one point. Took some insoles out of my shoes to give my toes more room. That seemed to work very well. I have to pay very careful to look after them, not scrunch them up, not force them down too much. Careful with the action on the pedals. And then not wearing padded shorts, and generally speaking that's been a good idea. But you do have to just look after your seat, your physical seat, the bit of your body that sits. And it's fine. I feel quite tired by the whole thing. I think it's excessive, so I think I will need to kind of recover. I've lost a huge amount of upper body mass. There's no muscle whatsoever on the top of my body. I haven't weighed myself for a while, so I'm not sure how much weight I've lost. But I haven't, just eating the number of calories required to replace what you use is a very, very hard job indeed. So that's the way of that. But yeah, it's amazing to have got this far, survived in one piece, come off the bike a couple of times, but that's just because the bike has slid, usually on sand and things like that. Nothing major beyond that. So very, very grateful to get here in one piece. And have everything do its job, which is great. Yeah. Let's see what happens tomorrow.
talking about us. It just shocks me.
I know.
We're just doing our business every day.
Just like everybody else.
We're not setting any record time.
No.
We just get on our bikes and ride every day.
We're not to be jackasses to anybody.
The Fantastic Three.
Look at that. All right, you lifting your bike?
Oh, did I leave something back there?
Oh my God.
It's real.
It is real. It is real. So here it is. Amazingly, we are finished. This is Antelope Wells, border crossing between Mexico and the United States. And we made it 2,780-ish miles, and it's 25 to 11 on Thursday the 28th of August. It's just too much to take in, really, that I've actually completed it. It was fantastic to complete it with Tom and Brian, and Seneca and Greg were here as well, which is lovely. Oh boy, so here we are. Yeah, it'll take a while, so yeah, stay tuned. I'll get back. So yeah, that was this morning. Done. The whole thing done. No more dots on the GPX to follow. We finished. Off the bike, no more riding. Stop the tracker. That's it. Wow. Okay. Catch you later. So I'm sitting by the pool in my hotel in El Paso, and it is 2 days now since I finished the ride. I'm flying out tomorrow back to London via Denver. I've packed the bike, which is great. Tom and Brian managed to get me a box when they had collected their hire cars. And it's gone in, and Tom gave me some good advice on packing it. And I'm in kind of limbo land between transitioning from this kind of very intense experience of riding so intensively for such a long period of time, and back to my kind of real world. I booked a haircut when I get home. Before I get into work, so I've got a very quick transition. So in a way, it's become a series of tasks to be done immediately the ride finished. We got shuttle, got all the bikes loaded, made the journey about 3 hours to get to El Paso, unloaded everything, get everything sorted, and so on. It's on and on and on and on, a whole succession of things.
So Brian and Tom stayed at the hotel. The first night I was here, so we had breakfast together and did our farewells then. And hopefully we're going to ride again together at some point. I think Brian's very keen to come and see the Tour de France in either next year or the year after. And maybe that'll be a reunion for us, which would be fabulous. And then I think Tom's very interested in the GB Divide as well in the UK. It would be really nice to actually reverse the experience where I could kind of act as the local. I would be the local and they would be the visitors, so for a change. Because I've had a great time just exploring cultural differences between the States and the UK here with them. It's great. At the moment, I'm feeling very relaxed about the whole thing. I haven't got any great conclusions. I think what I would say is, what I've probably said before, is it's a very, very intense experience, and every day is very, very rich. And the things which are quite small are magnified enormously because of the intensity of the experience. You know, you're kind of very much in touch with fundamentals of living, you know, food, energy, getting from A to B, finding accommodation, knowing where you're going to sleep, water, safety, all of these fundamentals. So that when something works out really well, or it's a very pleasant, you know, place to stay, or the food is great, or something, you know, turns out really well, that kind of positivity and the satisfaction from that is magnified significantly. So yeah, it became a way of life. 2 months, obviously, riding 56 days, averaging nearly 50 miles a day, and dealing with the same issues over and over and over again becomes a way of life. And yeah, the transition out of that has been very abrupt. But yeah, I think I've learned some lessons from it, I would say. And it's a lesson kind of I know that I needed to learn and have been trying to learn, which is about worrying about things and building up things in advance, and magnifying small things to make them bigger problems. You know, like, you know, so one day I'll be worried about, okay, well, is my body going to actually be able to sustain this effort? Am I going to wear my knees out, or am I going to wear my feet out, my toes out? What, something, you know? I'm going to get terrible blisters on my toes, or saddle sores, or all sorts of things. You know, none of which occurred seriously. I mean, I had to watch and look after parts of my body, obviously, but you know, here I am. I'm fine. Made it, and that's a tremendous answer to prayer, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm very grateful for being able to do this. I'm very grateful to God for allowing, you know, for just making it possible for me to do the whole thing. Everything worked out, you know, and I prayed about it beforehand because I thought it was a very big indulgence to spend all this time doing something I wanted to do for myself. Take myself away from my family, take away from responsibilities, and just, you know, it seems very self-indulgent in a way. So yeah, I think I feel less guilty about that, certainly, now, having done it. I'm so glad to have finished it. I mean, you know, completed it, just for the sake of completing it. And saying, okay, well, I rode the ride, you know, rode the 2,700 miles, finished it, got there. And the experiences are very, very rich. So I'm very, very glad I've documented it, I've written a journal, I'm putting it on Strava, videoed it, obviously, and taking 4,000 photographs. So there's plenty of evidence. So I'm looking forward to putting all that together at some point, or some of it together, and making it available so that it can, you know, people said, okay, well, what was it like? And I just say, watch this or look at that. Yeah. I don't know if I would do it again. I don't think I'd do it again as an individual, just myself. I don't think I'd have enough motivation. But if somebody really, really, who I thought, you know, so if my friends, you know, some of my friends wanted to do it and were really serious about doing it, some of my riding buddies, or if my son wanted to do it, a family and was really serious about it, then I would consider doing it again for sure. It was a great adventure and a wonderful time. And I'm so glad I had the opportunity to do it. Yeah. Not easy. Very, very difficult. Pushed me very hard, I think. But don't regret it at all, any of it. Yeah. That was the Great Divide Mountain Bike Route. Fabulous. Really, really well worth doing. Cut through a slice of America I'd never been to before. The vast majority of people, and I don't think I remember anybody who was unpleasant. Very, very struck by the constructive, helpful attitude of ordinary people that we met. People were so prepared to go out of their way to do things for you, to help you, the extra mile. I think that's quite different from the approach of most people in Britain, where they generally, in my opinion, look for excuses not to help you, ways of not doing things. But here it was the opposite. So I'm very impressed with the everyday, ordinary, really wonderful people I met on this route. It's been great. So bye from me.